Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm presenting a new journal. It was made a couple of more than 2 weeks ago. It was completed, but I have been pretty sick recently. I had flu, and now I'm still recovering, and I'm coughing, and so if my voice sounds a little bit weird, this is due to that. I'll try not to let my cough interfere into the video, but hopefully it won't happen too often or won't happen at all. So that's the book. I've been also planning as usual. We all have some plans in our heads and we don't have some time or stamina or just lots of stuff. So this is it. It's been planned for a long time, and the cover actually was made many years ago, and it was used as a let's say as a plaque or something, kind of a decorative frame that I kept on my working desk. And this is a tribute to my one of my former professions or my former jobs. It's teaching English and American literature, lots of poetry, studying romanticism, and so I made this book and called it a book on poetry. So a book on poetry actually is devoted to it can be taken as a reader's diary, because there are clean pages, but also I incorporated here as much stuff to transfer this mood of old library or old study room where you had to sit and write and take notes and write down your favorite poems and try to explain them. So long story short, let's start with the cover. So as I've told you, this cover used to stand on my working desk in the university where I was working, and I used it as kind of a riddle, visual graphic riddle, puzzle, or whatsoever. And I was hoping to get some feedback or to get some reaction to it. Like I hoped somebody would recognize what this cover is about, but maybe they did, just didn't tell me, neither my colleagues nor my students. Actually, I'm not gonna open the meaning of this cover, but actually it's a riddle and a graphic riddle, and you can try and do it. Like if you manage to get what this cover is all about, what poem is somehow ciphered here, please write in the comment section. I will be happy to see your variants. So that's totally about words and ideas. The spine is made with fabric that I actually decorated myself. Well, as you can see, this ink pen actually is one of the main tools, because I was using it to write the poems inside it, to do the writings and to do some scribbles on the cotton that I used inside the book and outside the book. So this is kind of it. This is just made with this pen and ink. Let's look. That's the top, and it's double spine, hidden spine. And let's see a lot of mixed media. means here you can see the cover, you can see the frame, which is covered with also with multiple layers of acrylic paint, and then crackle paint and so on, and some multi-layered background. Yeah, let's look inside, and that's the first card, the first part. I really enjoy this style. I don't know, I have tons of old torn books that can no longer be used or restored, and I keep using them, and it's never ending. So that's the first side, the inside of the cover. And so book on poetry, reader's diary, and so on. And that's the first part of this reader's diary, where you actually can write something. This one is made of library cards. We still have this in our libraries, where you there are some inserts where the librarian actually writes down the name of the book, the date, and we can see these dates come back to something like 2004, 82, you see, 83, so it's a very old one. Okay. Some parts of my handmade paper with geranium petals, and a tiny pocket, this type of pocket, and a tag. Some different types, I used here different types of paper to create a lot of texture, and that's the first side, the first quote. I wrote the names of the poems, the names of the authors, sometimes the dates, so that if it's not very clearly written, because actually it was pretty hard to write with it. I learned how to write with an ink pen at school when we were having some graphic classes, and we used different types of heads for this pen, but the paper, and I used this ink, brown one. But this paper that I was using turned out to be too brittle, and so I spoiled, and I had a lot of drafts on my table while doing that. So, and some inserts into this. Okay, it's not tracing paper, I forgot what it's named. It's not vellum, it's much more soft, and wax paper or something like that. I must say it's nice, and I bought like a set of 20 maybe, or 50 somewhere. All of them were used and repurposed. So some inside, and some frame for the picture or a card. And you can see the continuation of the rest of my carton. And as well, I added some random stitching, just because I like this style a lot, and I think it fits this idea very much. And another pocket, vellum pocket, with the notes from the owner, and a short notepad, I guess we can call it so. Let's put it back. Yes. Okay, some more brown paper is my love, forever love, and I also used some ink here and some gesso to decorate. By the way, gesso is used all over the book as well, to give it more torn and worn appearance, but it is even without that, it still has this effect. Sorry, and this is the one of the pages from an old book as well. Okay, another collage. these pieces of Prima, some of Prima paper, they fit the style very nicely, because it's like the sketch made with the ink pen, or made with an ink pen, or some other tool, let's say, but also a lot of older writing, and it just fits perfectly the style, and I added it here. Okay, another envelope, lots of envelopes, lots of them, with tags from my personal collection and from all over the world. As far as I remember, these two come from one of my happy mails from Sweden, which was very I was happy to get, and I'm happy to find it now to use. That's one more brilliant Prima paper page. As you see, it's just what I needed here. And I have some more pages of this old, of this vintage, I would say, photo album. And I just added some cards here. Also, photos can be inserted, any cards, library cards, whatsoever. Okay, and another bunch of notes. This is actually a mini booklet, probably. Yeah, that. Oh no! Don't tell me that this time you're gonna. Okay. So as you can see as well, this cotton, all the pages are hand stitched, and the whole book is hand stitched. I am not using my sewing machine now, almost never, because it needs fixing, and so I enjoy this more. So that's one of the quotes, of the big quotes I like most, and it fits what's happening in the world now. It's by John Donne, which is written here. It comes from 1625. I'm not going to quote it, but it's from his Meditation 17, Devotions upon Emergent Occasions, and one of the most famous, popular, and most often quoted. And normally, pretty often, people just don't know the origin of the phrase "to whom the bell tolls," and this is it. One more poem. This time it's by John Keats, and this time it's absolutely authentically written with an ink pen. As you can see, it's just and yeah, it's here it is fixed on top of my personal, some of the letters from my childhood. Okay, some more brown paper insert, and another poem. This time is by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and again some nice background. And one more. This time it's by William Wordsworth. A longer piece. Yep. And all of them, all of these pieces are my favorites. I picked them for the reason, and I hope you will also enjoy them. Okay, some more complex constructions like this. A tiny tag. Also, you can be used for riddles, for puns, or for notes. Another photo corner, photo spot or tag spot, and this is a multiple layer, multi-pocket, let's say, with different pieces. You can use these pieces either for, all of them come from Prima, apart from these two. You can use them to decorate your own notes that you have here, or just keep them as decoration here. This one is also movable. I'm not just gonna do that. And this piece is from Tim Hall's collection. Okay, one more amazing botanical illustration. And another pocket, accordion pocket in fact, with some decorative pieces. Okay, how to use this closure? There are two ways. You can use it this way, or I can show you next time in another page, how to use it in a different way. And one more, it's Holy Sonnet by John Donne again. This one is also, this was just the one that impressed me so much, especially by the last lines, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. That's another signature inside, made of another envelope that came from the library, and it has, you know, this beautiful kind of library thing, library case, and crossword puzzle, and some pages from Prima probably. Okay, and a completely clean. This one is in Russian, this one is in French, and there are some Swedish parts here as well. That's an old notebook cover, as you can see. It's authentic. If you manage, you probably will find even the date. I cannot now. So that's the second way how the closure can be closed. Yes, this and this. Or it can be closed not like that, but like this as well, to make it even more pattern, to give it a better pattern. So, and the last signature, which begins this way and goes on and goes on. This is not fixed, this is not glued, so you can take it out and put inside any other picture. And that's one more. Hiding place. And another poem. This time it's by George Herbert, one of the famous poets of his days. It dates back to 1633. Also very impressive. It impressed me a lot. It's religious, and John Donne, George Herbert, they both are related to metaphysical school of poetry, and so it has lots to do with Christianity and metaphorical meanings of the symbolism, allegory, and everything that this book is about, because actually it begins with the first page. And the last one, it's the poem by Percy Bysshe Shelley, which is Mutability, and it's also pretty nice. I hope you will enjoy reading it. And this one was, you know, the biggest failure, but as I was writing the word quiver, my hand quivered, right? And I decided to leave it as is, because this is the way probably the writing was done in the previous century and in the previous centuries. Therefore, it just gives more atmospheric look to that. I must say that if you really want, if you get a book and you cannot read the poem, which I tried to write down, I added the names so it can be easily found and read if necessary. So that's it about the book. Yes, it's for sale. You can get in touch with me via Instagram, Facebook, here directly, Facebook group and Telegram channel. All of them are listed below in the description box. I cannot tell the price, and I cannot list the price due to the laws of my country. My legal status doesn't allow doing that in the open. I'm sorry for that. I hate I hate these situations myself when I see the thing and I want to get it, and I have to get in touch with the trader or with the owner to find out the price. But that's how the laws work here. I am a crafter, officially registered crafter, and we are not allowed either having online shops or even listing the prices in our social media, so according to our statuses. So that's the reason why some of you asked why I don't open my own shop, because I just don't have this right. Yeah, we are lagging behind in terms of the legislation related to self-employed people, but this is how it works. Maybe one day it will get better. If not, I have to deal with. Thank you so much, and I wish you very happy, or at least calm and safe